un trabajo importante que ella asumió el primer rol que se llama A Crime to Remember, que ella hace una aparición. Es sobre el caso de los famosos y quisiera preguntarle cuál fue la experiencia y cómo fue interpretando un rol distinto.
Okay, we always do this. We always go to the back to the start of all the guesses. So yeah, tell us about. I don't know if it was your first role. You can correct us. A crime to remember. How was those beginnings on acting?
Yeah. So I started acting when I was 10 years old. I got my first role when I was a kid on a kids cooking show called The Planet Cook. It was a BBC show in the UK. And then I went to regular kid high school, auditioned for things while I was doing that. Got my MFA in acting at Columbia University. And then right out of school, I booked a recurring role on Blue Bloods, which was super fun. Had some success TV theater wise. And then most recently, my feature film, Townhouse Confidential, just came out, and I'm the leading lady of that. So that was really fun.
John mencionó varias producciones. Tú verás si algunas producciones las preguntas.
Primero yo quiero hablar sobre el tema de una serie que habla sobre la cienciología. Bueno, más que todo de querer preguntarle, te quiero, pues, no sé, curiosidades sobre qué opinas sobre esos temas de las historias de cienciología, que de pronto encontraste diferente a otras que hay.
Before we sum up, because you mentioned before a lot of productions that I hope John asked you about them. John had a question about Deadly Devotion. It's a production about Scientology. We know that sometimes that subject can be controversial. So the question is, what do you think about this production? Do you think that got a different approach about Scientology? I don't know. Tell us about Deadly Devotion.
Yeah. So that production I was actually just like a featured extra in, so I didn't really have any lines or anything, but being on set for the day, I was privy to what the show was about. And I feel like as actors, we often get stories and things that are outside of our beliefs and outside of our comfort zones. But approaching all of those characters from a truth-telling standpoint, because we meet those people. We meet people who believe in all of these things. So for me, it's all just about like putting myself truthfully into the shoes of other folks, whether I'm speaking or just in the background and present in these, in these scenarios. But yeah, it was an interesting show to be a part of. One of my friends was the showrunner, so that's how I got involved in that. But yeah, it was a fun day. I just remember being like, this is heavy. This is like about stuff that I don't know too much about. So yeah, just approaching it from a place of truth.
Can we know the name of your friend?
Yes, Veronica Heffron.
I will tell that to John. John, pues adivina, a pesar de fue una extra, sí te va a traducir eso. Es que Verónica Efron, tú sabes que una de las
Yes.
principales de eso fue la que la llevó a eso. Entonces imagínate,
Oh,
gracias
wow.
a ella fue que entró. O sea, si tienes alguna pregunta a revisar,
Eh, Sí, eso es excelente. O sea, además, en Blue Box, ahora sí, hiciste el papel de McKenna. Más que todo, el tema fue en cómo ver cómo la justicia no actúa de forma convincente en tu personaje. ¿Qué opinas sobre las injusticias que se plasman en esa serie o más en tu capítulo?
Y saca una duda antes de preguntar, ¿alguien más de esa serie estuvo en el canal?
Bastantes, claro. Estuvo David Wilson Barnes, estuvo Alan Rodríguez, estuvo varios ahí.
Gracias. I had to ask to John because, yeah, we're happy and finally asking about Blue Bloods, McKenna, but we're happy because you're not the first person from that show. We got David Wilson Burns,
Oh,
we got
wow.
Alan Rodriguez. Yeah. Amazing interview, by the way. And it's crazy because we interview him and few views. I don't know what happened. And those views, no, he's amazing. We love that series. So, yeah, tell us because about that subject or your chapter. We know this show deals with the injustice. Tell us more about Blue Bloods. We need to know about Blue Bloods.
Yes. So Blue Bloods was an amazing experience. I booked the role. I was actually a reader for the day, so I was auditioning other actors for the parts on the episode, and they offered me a role on. It was just supposed to be one episode, and one episode turned into 6. And that was an amazing, amazing experience. I played a tarot tech, which I had to look up, and it's technological analyst response unit. So I was the person doing all of the like research if a license plate came in or a tattoo came in, and trying to crack the crime from a logistics standpoint instead of going on the field and things like that. But what was really cool for me was learning things that these people actually do. Like I came into set one day and I have a nose piercing, and they were like, "Oh, you have to take that out because like for cops in New York, they don't have piercings." And I was like, "Wait, really? Like they're real people too? That's crazy." So like took that out. And my character sat at a desk the entire time. And my first day, they were like, "You also have to wear a gun and a badge." And I was like, "Really?" Like they were like, "Yeah, everyone has one. Everyone's got a gun and a badge because they're all trained and could have to use them at any given time." Which I thought was really interesting because I was like, I'm just the tech person. Like, why would I need these things? But yeah, it was an amazing, amazing experience to work with everyone on the set. Like Donnie Wahlberg's amazing. It was just really, really cool.
And another trivia. There are 4 now. You, the one, David Wilson, Alan Rodriguez, and William Sadler. So we are happy. Yeah, we always happy with people of that series came to the channel. I will tell that. John, hubo entrenamiento policial real, ¿no? Solo te voy a decir eso. Y de un episodio se volvieron 6, ¿no? Tú lo sabes muy bien.
Sí, eso fue algo muy loco. Además, aparte de esta serie, hay otra que la verdad sí disfruté mucho. No me vi todos los capítulos, pero sí me vi uno en especial que es el de ella que se llama You Follow Me. Trata sobre la autenticidad. ¿Qué opinas sobre la autenticidad de dejar en sus personajes su esencia? ¿Qué opinas sobre esta historia? Esta historia es muy, muy alocada.
Okay, now it's the turn of You Follow Me. We know that the series deals with authenticity. So yeah, how do you manage to lead your essence, your authenticity on your roles? And of course, tell us about You Follow Me.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. So You Follow Me is a series that I am producing as well as acting in. It's about living life with an autoimmune disease or invisible illness, but in like a comedy kind of vein, like think Big Mouth the cartoon with real people. And I approach a lot of my roles from a standpoint of like putting myself into them or parts of who I am into these parts. You Follow Me is unique in the sense that I have an autoimmune condition. I have several. And it took me a really long time to get diagnosed. And then living in New York, there are so many complications that you have just like being a New Yorker and adding on an invisible illness on top of that. I used to joke around saying like, I feel like I have an invisible friend following me around who's like causing havoc. And I talked to a writer friend of mine and he made magic, and like we filmed the first part of the episode. We're now in the process of like shopping it around. So Netflix, if you're listening, like I'm ready. But I very much approach all of my roles from a sense of, what parts of me as Sam can relate to whoever I'm playing on screen or on stage.
I need to ask to John where he saw, because I also got an autoimmune condition.
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah, no, but we are not alone, and we need to keep on living. No, but it's okay. I'm fine. And please, Netflix, I will. In fact, I don't know if the last time William McNamara was here, and he asked John if he can be like a how do you say Ada Madrina, like a highly good mother, like I will tell John, please tell to Netflix, whatever, or please share this episode. I need to see you follow me because I need to feel that I am not alone. So thank you for
Yeah,
telling
no,
that.
thank you. It's always nice to connect with other people who have the same struggles. And that's part of why I made this show, is because I want communication around it. I want a dialogue around it. And I feel like it is a thing we don't talk about. We talk about mental health, we talk about physical health, but we don't really talk about invisible illness that people can't see because they're like, I mean, I get told all the time, like, you look fine. And I'm like, I look fine, but I'm extremely fatigued and my knee is killing me and like, things you wouldn't see.
I will translate. John, necesito saber dónde dice este episodio. Dos, necesito que tú seas como el hada madrina, no sé cómo se dice en inglés, porque esta serie, pues, San es la productora y está
What?
diciendo que ojalá Netflix, sí, yo no sabía, y ella tiene lo mismo que tiene la protagonista. Y dos, nada, que pase lo de William Van Námara y que se vuelva la madrina, por favor,
El
distribuye esto.
Fairy Good Mother. Esa es
Eso,
la madrina.
la Pretty Good Mother, yeah, the Pretty Good Mother, no,
No,
Netflix,
de
please.
hecho, cuando yo te dije lo de la entrevista hace ya rato, yo lo había visto por Dailymotion. Está un capítulo y pues está el de ella. Voy a buscarlo de nuevo para entregarlo porque, o sea, no está todo completo, pero sí está el episodio.
It's crazy because that episode, some parts of that episode are on Dailymotion, but no, we need it on a better streaming service.
Excelente. Aunque sí me vi, eso sí, está en YouTube todo. Está, es algo loco porque trata sobre el tema de, no sé, cada día vivir en la oficina, vivir a la vida rutinaria. ¿Qué pudiste aprender de este rol? Este rol es muy diferente a lo que ha hecho ella. Es algo como más experimental.
Luckily on YouTube, we got doubledate.com, and we know that this role is really, really different to the things that you had made. You can correct us if I'm wrong. So yeah, tell us about doubledate.com.
Yeah, doubledate.com was a really fun process to be a part of. My boyfriend and I are both actors, so whenever we get cast to do something together, we're always like and we got to play characters that we would not play because we are very much like, monogamous. We don't date other people. We like don't do that kind of thing. So stepping outside of our comfort zone as a couple to be in a show like that was really, really fun. And it was interesting to film over the pandemic because we filmed it like literally right here. And it was interesting to, like, we had to record a lot on our end while they were also recording on their end, making sure our audio was synced. If like the Zoom had a glitch, like that was a big problem. So just making sure that like the technology around filming a thing fully in a pandemic was really interesting, and also just like, wow, we can keep making art even when the world is like, stop.
¿Quién protagoniza la serie, John? Porque adivina, es el novio y todo fue filmado ahí, en ese mismo fondo que tú estás viendo. Y era una forma de ellos experimentar con hacer un rol muy distinto a lo que es la vida de ellos.
¿Cuál
Dime el
es
nombre.
el...? Bueno, en doble está que me acuerdo, Andreas, Justin, Ronald, está uno que tengo por Facebook que se llama Greg, Michael, no sé,
Okay. I know it's a silly question, but because I am not on my computer, what is the lucky boyfriend that also starts doubledate.com? We need to know it.
Oh yes, my boyfriend's name is Alex Steeny. We've been together for 6-7 years now, something like that. We have a puppy together who is being very, very good.
Oh, he's
I mean,
beautiful.
yeah, so we met in grad school, and it's really helpful to he does the same thing that you do because you share the love of the passion as well as the love of each other.
Oh, Alex estuvo en John Follow Me y estuvo en Cargo Guardians. Oh, cool.
Cool.
No
Thank you.
sabíamos. Thank you.
I got a kitty right there.
they're so good. They're just like hanging.
Yes, yes. It's one of my 20 kitties, no? Look, another one. They are
Excelente.
scattered all around. Sí, sigue.
Wow, hay también eh, un corto que la verdad sí pude ver por fragmento porque no está completo, que se llama The Plants, o sea, plantas muertas, eh, que trata sobre las mimadoras. No sé, ¿qué concepto tienes sobre este tipo de, como de actitudes de personajes de ese estilo? Porque claro que la protagonista siempre en voz off, pero ella sí sale.
It's crazy because there is a short film called Dead Plants. We know that you mostly is a voice off, but yeah, another crazy project because it's about the people who, and you can correct us about to take care of plants. I don't know how we translate it, mimadoras. That's the word in Spanish, but no, tell us more about Dead Plants because we need to know.
Yeah. So that film was actually really interesting because it was my first film of that genre. It had like some horror-y elements to it as well as comedy and things like that. But it was definitely a role that I had to work on a lot outside of the project just because it took place with like a sister who had lost her sister to a horrific incident that you'd see on like a true crime show, and the way she coped with it was she actually became a hugger, like a professional hugger where people would go and pay her to like hold them, which is so weird. And one, that was something I'd never heard of before, and two, I was like, this is so odd to me that like people fantasize so much about true crime that they would put themselves in a potentially like harmful situation to be famous, to like be on a true crime show. And that was really strange to me, but also really exciting because like I said, I've never done anything like that before. So stepping into that kind of character of like, luckily my character was kind of the innocent one and everything, but it was just like easier to kind of navigate through because the director was really open. We had a lot of rehearsal time before, which is like really rare for film. Yeah, everything was really clear, so we knew what our intentions were with everything.
It's crazy that the word on English is hugger and on Spanish is mimadora because hugger is like hot is means abrazo, means abrazadora, but mimar is like take care. Oh, that word doesn't get translation. Okay,
Oh,
something I learned today. Yeah. Oh my God, that the premise of that short film sounds really scary and creepy.
yeah.
Okay, John, continúa. Sí,
La que
no
más
te
creepy,
sé.
la que más creepy es Day Night. Esa sí es una historia que la verdad puede ser perfectamente algo de terror, porque vea que no sé si estoy mal con el nombre, pero creo que flebotomista, si no estoy mal. Esto sabe que es sobre las transfusiones, la sangre y todo eso. Más bien podía ser una película de terror. Yo no sé por qué tuvo que ser romántica. ¿Por qué no terror? Pues no sé, es algo que la verdad me imagino yo. Y por cierto, buena actuación de Stan y de Prigo también.
Okay, now we are going to talk about Day Night, and it's crazy because this movie turns out to be a love movie, but also got another really creepy environment like the plebotomization. I hope I pronounce it right. So yeah, do you think that Day Night could be also a horror movie? Why they don't make it like a horror movie? Tell us, tell us. You
Yeah,
you
I
are
mean,
you are on creepy stuff. You are on a lot of creepy stuff. That's great. That's great. That's great.
it's my favorite genre to watch. So I think it definitely could have gone in that direction as well. And it was an interesting set day for me too, because I was kind of brought on last minute. A friend referred me to someone involved in the production, and they just like texted me and were like, "Hey, can you put something on tape today?" And I was like, "Ah, yeah, I guess." So I did it, and like I went to set the literal next day, and was like, "Okay, cool." So I kind of got everything secondhand, but the scene that I was shooting was also really creepy. And it was like the date in the car, like, does she get abducted? Is she a part of this? Is she, you don't really know like what happens with her because it just ends with like the car driving off in the distance. And you're like, is she okay? And then once you hear what the rest of the film is about, it is kind of like a horror film, which is, yeah, maybe that's my next project. I don't know. I feel like I went from romantic comedy to, yeah, horror. Why not?
Esperemos que Day Night la próxima sea de terror.
Por favor, please, please, please. Antes de hablar sobre la película que todos queremos, yo te digo, o sea, no hemos podido ver esta de Mr. Soul Shop porque, no sé, en ninguna plataforma está o será que está en festivales. Yo creo que está en festivales. Cuéntame más sobre tu personaje.
Don't get the opportunity to watch Mr. Sot Show because we can't find it anywhere. So anything you tell us about it, go ahead.
Which project? Sorry.
Mr. Sot Show. Sot Show. I don't know.
Mr. Soap Show. Yeah. That was so that was a fun one too. I played a casting director in that short. It was very much like kind of a bad audition experience. Like, you know, if someone's coming in to audition for something and it goes poorly, but the casting director's like loving it and is like, yes, this is everything I want. And as an actor, like I really miss being in an audition room because everything now is done on self-tape or on Zoom. So it was really fun to play someone on the opposite end of the table, to be like so engaged with what the performer's doing, even if it's not great, like to just be like super engaged and present with what was happening. And it ended in a little like spoof of like, did the assistant kill him or not? See, we're following a running theme here. Like, I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, it was really, really fun and fun to play what I'm not, you know, I don't cast. So to sit on the other end was cool.
Ahora sí, vamos a hablar de Townhouse Confidential. Yeah. Townhouse. Vea que es una historia muy loca porque no es que me la haya visto completa, pero sí partes porque, no sé, Wendy es troll a veces conmigo porque no me la he visto toda, pero lo que yo pude ver en todo es que el personaje ya tiene un buen protagonismo, se desenvuelve muy bien con Jonas Barranca, con todos, pero yo quisiera saber cómo fue el poder visualizar un rol de la mujer como más bien característico a los otros roles que has estado teniendo. Y más que todo, cómo fue la experiencia, ser dirigida por Patrick Pérez, Cristina Nava. Yo le dije, por favor, algún día un póster, pero no sé.
Es de Midnight Releasing, ¿cierto?
No, esa
No.
es de Estudio Matrix.
Y es de los dos, la pareja de directores que tuviste hace poco.
Exacto.
Okay, it's crazy because John got the opportunity to interview Christina and, you know,
Nava.
the directors from, and Christina now, yes, the directors from Townhouse Confidential. He says that somehow Wendy trolled him because she hasn't shown the full movie, but he saw some parts and he really enjoyed your performance, your chemistry with the cast. So yeah, that's the moment that we're waiting for. Tell us about Townhouse Confidential.
Yes, Townhouse Confidential was so much fun. It was so nice to be a part of something in a world where Ned, don't do that. My dog's barking at the other dog outside. But it was so nice to just be a part of a comedy in a world where things are so dramatic all the time. And like there's so much, you know, to not be happy about in today's society than to just be a part of a romantic comedy was awesome. The other actors involved were just a delight. Like Lee, my co-star, we lived up the street from each other, so we actually like met up for coffee. Ned, sorry.
Is that your dog?
Yeah.
I thought it was a person.
He's like,
oh my God. But I thought it was a person.
he's got a human name for sure. Yeah, but Lee and Jonas, we all lived in the same area, so we like met up for coffee a couple of times to like run lines and, you know, just get to know each other a little bit better. one of my favorite parts was just filming in such cool places in New York. Like, I've been a New Yorker for almost all of my life. I was born in Long Island and then lived in New Jersey and London, but always kind of around New York minus my London stay. And filming in places like the Magnolia Bakery and the pizza shop and the coffee shop that are like iconic New York locations, even the West Village itself, of just like, wow, you see Sex and the City and you see all these New York shows and you're like, I'm doing one too, just like that. And like, we'd be filming and people would stop and take pictures of us and you're like, you don't know who we are. Why are you taking our pictures? They just see a camera and they're like, hey. But yeah, it was really, really great. And Pat was just so collaborative with everything. He really trusted us to kind of take, the ship, so to speak, in terms of just getting us to where we needed. He was really clear about what he wanted from day one, that we were able to kind of take that and run and make our own characters feel really full, and three-dimensional, and you root for them all, I think.
Don't worry. I haven't visited New York, John in neither, but if we visit and we see you recording, we will stop and take pictures, so don't worry. John, el coprotagonista es vecino de ella, con lo te digo todo.
What the heck?
I was telling that your co-protagonist was your neighbor, so, well, kinda your
Wow.
neighbor.
Es increíble.
that's great.
Bueno, yo sé que pronto vamos a tener la prensa con Sam, con Lee y con Jonas. Entonces, pronto. Entonces, no, o sea, quería saber, puedes decirle, es raro que la película no sea puesta en ninguna plataforma digital porque es una película que está para verse, no sé, en Prime Video, en Netflix, en Hulu, no sé, porque aún no se ha puesto. O quisiera, no sé.
Okay. John, he told me that the next thing that he will do is like a press conference with you and the rest of the cast. But he said, yeah, it's true. It's weird that this movie is not allowed on any streaming service because he said that it's a really cool product. He needs to be more watched. I don't know what is going on there.
Yeah, we're on. If you look us up on Amazon, we should be on Amazon. We're also on Apple TV. We're on Vimeo. And I know you can like buy it. I don't know what the international rules are. In the States, I know it's Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, iTunes, Vimeo. But I'm sure we could get you a link. I can talk to the producer. We can get that for you.
I thought John. Okay, I will ask John. John, ¿esa no fue la que me dijiste? Conseguir un festival?
Ujú, esa misma, sí. Pero no
Yes, John.
es romance.
Yes. No, John told me that because I work in press in some festivals, but sadly there are horror festivals. But yeah, it will be great if we can find some festival to show it. I will try to do my best because yes, in fact, John told me, Tres, do you know a festival in which Townhouse Confidential can participate? And
Yeah.
let me see. No, John, habla con Darwin
Voy a
en
decirle
Norfest.
para el festival
Okay,
de
okay,
Barcelona.
we will. Yes, we got a friend called Darwin. He runs two festivals, one in Barcelona and one in Sweden. And I think this movie can be running on there. So we will talk with him. Yes, yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Please, festivals, show it.
Yes, absolutely. The more the merrier.
No, y también para finalizar, felicitaciones a ella porque ya hace parte de Studio Matrix. Entonces, no.
Finally, it's not a question. Congratulations, because you are made part of the Studio Matrix.
Thank you.
Bueno, este es tu espacio para que diga tus redes, un saludo para Colombia, para que se sintonicen viendo, aún está en cines de por allá de Estados Unidos, Townhouse Confidential.
Okay, the camera is yours. Tell your social media so people can follow you. invite people because we know that in some cinemas they're showing Townhouse Confidential. I don't know. Tell whatever you want. For us, it's a big thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. To keep up with me, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I have a website. My Instagram is Sammy SAMI Sims SIMS 21. Facebook I think is just my regular name. It's either Sam or Samantha Simone. It has a picture of me and probably the dog. And then my website is SamanthaNicoleSimone.com, and I'm pretty good about keeping all of that updated so that you can see either film, TV, or I do theater stuff too. So if you're local to New York and are in town, swing on by.
No, for your name, nobody hasn't, I don't know, mistaken you for the singer Simone Simons? San Simon, Simon Simons. Yeah, I don't know.
I get asked a lot if I'm also related to Raven Simone, the Disney Channel star, and I was like, we spell our last names completely different.
Yes, yes.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, I got so confused today. San Simon. No, but you got a great name. Samantha. Sam. No, Sam. San or Sam, whatever. Okay,
Bueno,
John.
ok, felicitarla, bravo, por eso. Bueno, vamos a tomar la foto.
Okay, okay.
Perfecto.
No, John, ¿vas a decir algo?
No, muchas gracias por la oportunidad. Gracias por hacer parte del documental y bienvenida siempre.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for being part of the documentary. I need to watch the documentary. And no, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you.